Good evening, everyone, and welcome again to another episode of MTG Sin Senpai. So this is going to be the third installment of our draft picks. These two particular piles are two different drafts that I participated in, both Double Masters. Unfortunately, it seems like this is going to be the last Double Masters drafts that I'm going to be able to do. As far as I could tell, every store that I know is no longer doing Double Masters at the moment. They seem to be all out, which is understandable. I mean, this was, from my understanding, a limited print run set, and pretty much every store has used up all their product already. Now, if my buddies happen to get their hands on another draft box, I mean, I'll be more than happy to do another draft. Or if I might be lucky to get my hands on one, I'll try and host a draft myself. Regardless, I'm doing the same format. These are the sideboard. This is the drafted deck. Same thing on this end. And then I did, once again, organize my mana value and then keep the rares in the back. Sideboard did not do that. And again, I did keep the rares in the back. So this is an idea of my playstyle and how everyone can see how to counterpick me if they ever see me in a draft. Now, this particular time, I did get my hands on a bunch of these Cryptic Spires, which I feel are kind of a waste. Oops, out of screen there, my bad. Unfortunately, after they're marked, I mean, maybe you could use them in your commander decks, but they're so much better lands to use. So I've been, after the ones at least that I've marked, I've just kind of been chucking them. I might start saving them. Now I think about it, now I say it out loud, might be able to save them and do something with them. I don't know, who knows. But yeah, it's unfortunate after they've been marked. This particular time, I forget what exactly. I think this is was this an event? This was an event. It was a FNM for my LGS. That's what this one was. This particular draft deck. Decided to go Jund here. I forget exactly why or what pushed me in this particular direction. Oh yeah, and I remember a couple ETB effects there I thought were pretty solid. Splashed a little bit of white for the Unburial Rites just because this card, fond memories for me. I built a Junk deck back when Abzan was known as Junk. What was it? Whenever Thragtusk was first introduced during that Ravnica, and when that was a standard block, I actually won a couple events with my Junk deck. What was it? Thragtusk. What was it? Angel of Sanctuary? No, Serenity. Angel of Serenity. The one that ETB that exiled either creatures in the battlefield or creatures from the graveyard, and then whenever it leaves the battlefield, they go back to their owner's hand, which, such a good deck. Did so many mean things with that Thragtusk. Man, such a stupid card. And this card is an all-star. Lavalanche, just knocking out people and just wrecking days. And then we got ourselves a Ashenmoor Liege, which I don't, of all the Lieges, I'm not the biggest fan of this particular one. Una's Prowler, this one was actually pretty great all-star whenever I got it down on turn 2. Knocked out a couple opponents with that. And a Panharmonicon Borderless, which is pretty. I'm a big fan of I do like the Borderless cards. They're pretty awesome. I like the way that they look, the way that they feel. Majority of the cards just feel great, and I think that's because these were all printed in Japan, if I remember correctly. You can tell from the way the packaging is done. So here's hoping that they keep up this quality, because the quality has just been, at least this time around, feels like it's a lot better. Knock on wood, hopefully things stay on top, but I mean, this was a supplementary set, so it's not the regular runs. But hey, who knows? Here's hoping that maybe Magic or Wizards of the Coast will stick to this level of quality. And then bump into the rares here. Got us a Villainous Wealth. Oh, so I tried to squeeze this in, but I just could not. Mimeoplasm and a Glimpse of the Unthinkable, sorry. That is a borderless foil, which the foiling seems a little dull on this one. I'm not sure if maybe it's missing a layer or something, but it was pretty awesome, and the Pix was not the strongest in the last pack, and I decided to go ahead and take it just because I don't have a Glimpse myself, and I might be able to squeeze that into a mill deck somewhere. I mean, yeah, if you play it in Commander, it's only, what, a tenth of your opponent's deck, but still, hey, that's a tenth of your opponent's deck milled away, right? So this was another draft. This one I did with my buddies at one of my friends' houses. I do try and draft with them as much as possible. It's just with work and everything, sometimes my schedule is not the most lenient. But when it comes to double masters, I've been doing my best to try and get things going. Definitely a lot of fun cards I pulled. I mean, that's Blood Artist. Definitely something that be set to the side forever. A couple other fun things. I think the only person that I really lost to is because I got mana flooded. The first time it ever happened to me. I run typically 16, sometimes 17 lands in a deck, and game 1 I had like, what was it, 7 or 8 mana by the time the game ended. Oh, by the way, Lavalanche again, another all-star. Against other opponents whenever I did not get mana flooded. But finishing the story, game 2 against the guy, I had 14 lands in total. I had 12 of them in play and 2 of them in my hand by the time he knocked me out. It was absurd. I'm like, the chances of that happening. But it's Magic for you. I mean, it can happen. I mean, as you can tell, I have some pretty crazy pulls. I decided to go a little kind of bonkers with things, kind of filling up the graveyard, doing crazy nonsensical things, and then once again that Umburl writes, just, I love this card, and I will try and draft it constantly. And then we got a Elenda the Duskrose, was definitely a awesome pull. I feel like, I'm sure other people have mentioned this, but there's so much going on with this card. Initially, whenever I first looked at it, I could not tell what was going on, but that's her, like, in a coffin, I'm guessing, and then just flowers all over the place. Crazy, but definitely amazing card. Definitely won me in games. For sure, was lots of fun. And then, I mean, I'll draft. I'm sure if anyone has watched my other video, I'll draft pretty much anywhere. Now, mind you, that Empty Warehouse was the first time, but I will draft with people. I've been lucky enough to host a couple times as well. So yeah, I mean, biggest thing love to do is either drafting or Commander. Now, I'm trying to get back into Modern. I might do other things, but the construction scene for me has just not been the most fun. I did do Standard for the longest time, but I was not the happiest camper. Oh, and the Hellkite Overlord. I tried to run it, but I had to cut it. Just the double red, and then I just had so many other crazy bombs I decided not to run it. But yeah, another successful night. This one I went 2-1. This one I went 1-2, I think, if I remember correctly. Now, there's stories behind that, but it is what it is. Things happen, but that's Magic. Sometimes you win, sometimes you don't. And unfortunately, these days I'm kind of landing in the middle. I haven't really topped out on any of the Double Master drafts, and unfortunately, the way things are, looks like I may not at all for this particular set. But I do plan on doing as many drafts as I can of either Unfinity or Dominaria United, or both, because I'm super hyped for both of them. Dominaria United just for the nostalgia factor, because that's where I started with Magic, was the invasion block, and then the Unfinity, the lands, just lands alone. I mean, the shock lands and everything. I mean, they haven't even revealed everything in the set, but just the land and the shock lands, that is enough for me to want to do that as much as possible, because who doesn't like shock lands? And if you're new into the game and don't know, shock lands is an investment. Just get them early, get them cheap, because I mean, yes, they do reprint the hell out of them, but there are times whenever they do get up there, I believe anywhere between 15 to 20, give or take, depending at the point. But yeah, thank you once again, everyone, for sticking around, watching, and enjoying going through my picks for a couple of drafts here. Once again, please, if you do enjoy and want to support the channel, take the time to like, comment, share. It is appreciated. And once again, please don't forget, Senpai didn't notice. Bye.